everybody, to Brew Review University. I am your host, Jennifer, along with my co-host, Donnie, who's chugging over there.
Cheers.
Oh, MD, already starting. Anyways, before we can get started, here's Donnie with his disclaimer. If you can put the glass down long enough to do it.
Lagers are so easy to drink. Oh my gosh. Anyway, kids, if you are not of drinking age 21 or older in most states, 18 and others, it's time for you to go do something else because you should be. The snow is definitely not for you. So today, as we... Where did you whip that out from? I was looking for it, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it is.
You're lucky I hit this and not...
I tried to hide it.
You over there. But anyways... Rambling on. On today's episode, we are bringing you nothing but good old-fashioned lagers. Correct?
Yes, nothing but lagers today. And as you can see,
I can handle those somewhat.
So easy to drink.
They're not my favorite, but I can handle them.
So easy to drink.
All right, so what's the first one you got for us?
Well, the first one I just did was Gillies. And that was a classic example of how easy they are to drink. This is only a 4.7, so most of the time I'll go through this. If I'm going to have a beer during the week, more than likely it's going to be something like this. Very easy to drink, other than, of course, the non-alcoholic beer that I have during the week. But this is what I like.
What do you have for me to sample, though? You've been drinking all the beers yourself.
You know what? Let's start out with what everybody in the world knows. In the world. Everybody in the world knows this beer. So, if you remember, in one of our past shows recently, we described basically what a lager was. And I'm going to just go over that again in how the difference between a lager and an ale. So, lagers are fermented colder at 42 degrees to 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Ales warmer at 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And also, lagers are bottom fermented, if you remember on our show that we said that a few weeks ago. Usually 4 ingredients. We have water, malt, hops, and yeast. The fermenting time is 6 to 8 weeks. So it is a little bit longer, and that's why we described in the last show that we did on ales that it does take a little bit longer, and they do ferment them, well, they used to, in old times, do it in caves because they were a little bit colder and they needed to just store them. So I can sense something's coming up.
No.
But anyway, ales for 3 to 5 weeks and lagers at 6 to 8 weeks. So that gives you a little bit of the history.
I was just going to do a snooze fest over here. What do you say?
So we're going to start out with a lot of people's favorite. And it's funny because this beer has been around forever.
Not my favorite. My favorite is right here.
And believe it or not, it's Coors Banquet. This is an American lager. Gosh, I can't say enough of how much I remember, growing up as a kid and watching, family, friends, relatives drink this beer. So... let's go back in time, and
I don't know why you give me the whole build up.
Let's go back in time, and we're gonna do this. This is the standard American lager, and put this here and put that there. But that's it. There, you can, everybody knows what that looks like. Just Coors Banquet. Coors is out of Golden, Colorado. We have a few breweries that we visit. Well, not visit, but we tend to favor in Colorado, Greeley, Colorado, to be specific. Yeah. This is an American lager. The ABV on this is 5.0, IBU 15, which is your International Beers Unit, and this rates an incredible 2.80 on Untapped. But the crazy thing...
That's pretty high.
The crazy thing about that, being a 2.80, is this has 172,500 check-ins. So this by far is what Americans drink, you know.
It's affordable.
Yeah, it's affordable. I think I only paid I want to say $2.50 for this monster can. I think what is this? It's 24 ounces, I think. I think it's a 24 ounce. Yeah, 24 ounces. So it's
let's just get to
over a pint and a half. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see how this goes. It's super light. Super light. Almost flavorless. I mean, you got very little flavor in there, but
it's watery.
It is watery. Yeah, you can tell that this is the bare minimum
So if you need to get your water intake for the day, go ahead and drink some Coors Banquet.
Hey, but you know, I was actually very curious. I hadn't had this in forever, so it was actually very easy to drink.
We're just so used to the craft beer stuff, so.
And at $2.50 tall can, not bad at all. But I think most of tall cans are how much? About $2.50, $2.
I would say they range between $2 and $3.50.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to leave color as a color comparison so everybody could see. Let's do that. We got that there. But that's that. And you know what? Let's move on to something that might be a little bit more tasty.
Yes.
Might be a little bit more tasty.
Please. Moving on.
Hey, we're gonna go back in time again. We're definitely gonna go back in time because before this show, before Brew Review University, we had a show that started out with just myself and turned into.
See how well that went.
What do we get, like 2 views?
You needed to add some cuteness.
2 views, like me,
it.
like I watched it and then my mom watched it or something.
Cuteness and some sassafras. You need to
so anyway, on that first show, one we did Budweiser. I did Budweiser, and oh my gosh, that was so hard to get down. They call it, an American lager, but I'm not sure if you want to call it an American anything, and it's a popular beer. Everybody loves it. So, but on that show, we also did Russian River.
I don't know. I'm just
Russian River.
For you to open it up.
I can't remember what the Russian River was, but it was a lager. But we're going to go back in time, and on our very first show, well, my very first show, on the last show, which was called Beers to You 2020, we did Dortmunder. Dortmunder Lager is from Lupulin Brewing. They are out of Big Lake, Minnesota. And
Don't start with that.
But anyway, this is a lager. It's 5.5 ABV. It is a 25 IBU. So, and on Untapped, it rates a 3.83, which is, as you know, Coors Banquet rated a 2.80, and this rates a whole point ahead of the Coors Banquet. So check-ins on this are 1,600, and if we can get a close-up shot of that, we'll see the difference in color. I'm going to turn this can around here. Dortmunder from Lupulin Brewing. But yeah, 1,600 check-ins. Untapped rates a 3.83. So, let's do this. Let's try this now.
Smells like a skunk.
It is kind of skunky.
I'm glad you said the same thing.
And not Heineken skunky.
I don't know what a Heineken smells like. Definitely has more flavor. It doesn't
Definitely.
taste like water, but
Yeah, definitely more flavor.
no.
Jen says no. I say yes. Definitely has that bready / toasty content, which most lagers should have. Also crisp, clean, very crisp, clean. You can see basically through it. But
I think the smell just doesn't work for me. So
yeah, I mean, just looking at the color here, the colors are definitely completely different. As far as this has got more of an orangey / golden, bronzy color, I would say. Yeah, it's definitely got that bready content, which the Coors Banquet definitely, absolutely did not. It was just more watery and, like I said, almost flavorless. It's like drinking water, you know. So, let's move on to something else. Let's move on to...
Can we get back in our time now and not in the olden times?
Yes. Yes, let's go back a few years.
We're going back more years?
Well, no, we're not going back into old times, but we're going to go back into a beer that you may or may not have had. El Segundo Brewing's Broken Skull. Well, again, this is Steve Austin's the wrestler.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Get it right.
Yes, for those of you who watch wrestling,
I did back in the day. He was my favorite.
You know what this is and who that is and things like that. But I'm not sure if we reviewed the Broken Skull IPA, but this is the Broken Skull American Lager. So, wow, it looks very light. Very light in the initial pour for sure. There we go. That's that.
So I had to Google it because I wasn't prepared because I didn't know you were doing this beer, but do you know what his catchphrase was?
I do not know. I wasn't a wrestling guy, watcher.
Well, I Googled this. I had to remember that.
I don't remember his catchphrase. What was it?
Give me a hell yeah!
I'll give you a hell yeah, lady. So.
But I actually do think he's back on wrestling.
Oh, no shit. Really?
Because wrestling is real.
Hey, that's what I was always told.
See, you're not supposed to have kids watching anyway, so.
I was always told it was real. I didn't know what you're talking about,
shatter their
lady.
dreams.
Yeah. I remember Hulkamania. Is that the same time?
Hulk Hogan, Undertaker.
Who else?
Mick Foley.
And who else?
The Rock.
The Rock. Okay.
The Rock.
Yeah. So, Mr. Wrestling.
I'm talking about way back.
She remembers all the wrestling. How about, the Mexican wrestler. I can't remember what his name was.
All right, well, let's get to taste it. I don't know.
Let's give you some information on this beer. I'm starting to get off on a different subject here, wrestling. And
as usual, you're getting off path.
So anyway, El Segundo Brewing is out of, obviously, El Segundo, California.
Who'd have thought?
This is Broken Skull American Lager. This ABV in this is a 4.8, which is very light. This should be a very, during the week, have a beer, quick beer. This rates at 3.91 on Untapped. It has 516 check-ins. So this is actually a fairly new beer compared to their IPA. Their IPA has been around a while, and it's called the same thing, Broken Skull IPA. But this is the lager version, and let's do this, lady.
I'm waiting for you.
It's got a little floral to it, like a floral content to it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's got a floral content to it, and It's definitely still got that bready taste to it, but definitely a floral hit to it. So, and that's funny because being a Steve Austin wrestler beer, you wouldn't want to say his beer is floral, but you know, it truly is. It truly is. It's got that floral kick to it.
Don't worry, you become a man when you drink his beer.
See, I'm just comparing colors here, and the same thing. It actually looks lighter than the Coors Banquet, but it in no way, shape, or form tastes like Coors Banquet. It's actually very tasty. Very, like I said, got that floral hit to it, which is it's really good. Let's do this next, which I have never had anything from either one of these breweries. I've got Fair State Brewing, and I don't know if that is called what would you say that is?
Oh my gosh.
Take a look at that on the can, and how would
what am I looking
is it
at?
threes? Or is it
Yes, they added an S to 3, so it'd be threes.
So it'd be threes. So we're gonna ask the American literature major over here exactly what that says. So Threes Brewing. This is a collaboration, which is kind of odd for two companies to do a collaboration on a lager, which is I'm excited because that shows that they're hell, let's just go traditional and let's try to make something that is a little bit outside the box in an American lager.
Oh, can't open it.
Wow, look at that. We can't open it.
Where's the knife? Here, use that.
Wow. So.
Did you drop it?
No, we didn't drop this at all.
Why
So.
are you throwing me in there? I didn't handle the beers.
This is a failed attempt at actually getting this one open. So, this is a little show mishap here. So, good thing we have an editing team that will probably edit this out. So, or leave it in to show how much I'm struggling with the can. I'm not really sure. Well, since we had the fail of this beer, I should say opening this beer, we're going to move on to the next one, which is Smog City. And let me open this here just to make sure it's going to... Yep, it opens, so we're all good. Anyway, let's pour this real quick. This is Smog City Brewing. They're out of Torrance, California. It's called Hoppy Lager. They say it's a West Coast lager. I've never heard of a West Coast lager, but I guess in the beer world you can call it whatever you want. So let me pour this real quick. There we go. That's what that looks like there. That's what that is. Smog City Hoppy Lager. So anyway, on Untapped, this rate's a 3.76, which is actually not that bad. It's ABV is a 5.2. IBU is not stated. Check-ins for this is 157 check-ins. So it's got to be somewhat of a fairly new beer here also. 3.76, not bad. That's a good, decent rating for a lager, I should say.
Don't they not rate lagers very high?
That's kind of the standard. I don't think that a lot of people like to rate lagers because they all are somewhat the same in taste. But as you know, as we've stated here today, that the Coors Banquet is definitely, it's watery. They should all have the same basic content in them, which is a biscuity, toasty taste to them. Jen's already going with the Smog City. So
if I don't start drinking, he'll just keep rambling.
So let's do this.
I'm trying to end the show decent time.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It has a lot of flavor. And
This is definitely a
not
hoppy
my
lager.
flavor.
Hoppy lager. I would say along the Pilsner state, because it is very hoppy.
I think it has the most flavor of the ones we've had.
Yeah, I mean it really does. Let's compare this here color wise. Well, actually, look at the filtration of this. I think even in if I could have our tech just kind of I want to show the difference. This is the Smog City. This is the Smog City here, and look at the filtering between the Smog City and this is even the lupulin. The lupulin, which is very, very tasty also, but the Smog City, in just the color of it, you can tell it's definitely not filtered as much. So that hop is definitely there. So definitely a good idea to show something like that, because that's where you're getting all that flavor from. I like it. I like that a lot. So, let's if I could have one of our techs just get me something to open this, so because I don't want to skip this one, because I was excited to open it, but
You got a little too excited opening that beer over
we're
there.
gonna
Now don't stab yourself.
We're gonna get this open somehow, and let's try to. Let's see here. There we go. Kind of, sort of.
This is not how to open a beer, by the way.
Oh,
Do
you
not
know
try this
what?
at home.
Wow, I'm looking. You know what? We're gonna get a close up of this. I have never seen this before in any beer that we have ever opened, and I don't know how this happened. I really don't, because this is definitely an error. So I got to show you this. Let's see. It's got 2 tops to it. So that's why it didn't open. It's actually got 2 tops to it. You can see right here that there's
childproof.
Yeah, this one is not even a 21 and over can open this one. There's 2 tops on it. So that is a very rare error, and so therefore it wasn't me who couldn't open this.
He'll still blame it on you.
Wow. So let's try to open this without me injuring myself. Can we do this? Let's try to open it from here. Is there 3 under here? What the heck?
Where's the saw? Just saw off the top part.
Whoop! Oh. There we go. It's open, ladies and gentlemen. It is open.
Oh my gosh. Nothing but entertainment around here for you folks.
There we go. After several tries, it is open. And the 2 tops, the adult-proof canning of this. Let's pour this. Or try to pour it. We'll let that one settle a little bit. Then we'll open up this next one. Let that one settle a little bit. Well, we'll give Jen this one because it is the smaller one. Let's kind of give you a view of this can. There. And there. But this is called Stranger in the Alps. Again, it's a collaboration with Fair State Brewing and Threes Brewing. First State Brewing is out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Threes Brewing is out of Brooklyn, New York. This is a 5.1 ABV. The IBU is not stated, which is your International Bitterness Unit. On Untapped, it rates at 3.67. It's got 1,100 check-ins. So, let's do this. Let's do this real quick here. That's good. I like that. That is very good. You have some biscuity flavor in there, kind of a toasted kind of flavor.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Again, very light, very easy to drink. All of these beers are something you'd want to do, say, just for a quick beer and go from there. So, yeah, other than that, 1,100 check-ins, rates of 3.67.
That's all we got?
That's all I've got, yeah, for sure.
All right, so just to close out with some business, but we want you to be on our podcast if you're an artist, a musician, a brewery, or just your average Joe or average Jane. We would love to have you come on our show. You can showcase your talent. We can do an episode exclusively of just your beers, or you can sit up here and give your take on the beers that we are trying. And please make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube. That way you get notified of our weekly episodes that drop. We are also on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. We do weekly beer reviews, so check it out because you might find something that you like. And I can see out of the corner of my eye somebody is trying to mess me up and show our shirts. So, yes, we do have t-shirts, men's and women's sizes available if you're interested. Please message us and we'll get you the cost and shipping if it needs to be shipped. But I think that is all I have.
Well, I'd just like to thank Christine and Brett for giving us these gifts for the show and an extra gift. But we do have our own shirts. And,
well, I would have wore that shirt, but I didn't know you were wearing it. But see, I got the
shirt. So we'd just like to thank you for doing that for us. And other than that, that's all I've got. So let me see which one I like best. I think, which one did you like best?
I forgot already.
I'm gonna just go through this real quick. I would say
eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Let's go.
Smog City first. I would buy that. Smog City first. Probably the Lupulin, Broken Skull, the Alps with the bad top, and then of course Coors last. So, but other than that, that's all I've got. What and anything else?
So, just in closing, and in the words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, loggers, we just whooped your ass. So,
I like it.
If you're a wrestling fan, you know what I mean.
So as we end this class, we want you to raise your glass and cheers.
Cheers.